And we are now joined by Pedro Carvalho, who will take on one of the greatest fighters in the world at the moment, Mr. Pitbull, on Thursday night at the Mohegan Sun. It's a huge, huge fight. We've been waiting so long for this to happen.
Since March.
And Pedro, first of all, you look fantastic. Your beard is beautiful. Oh, we flipped the camera around. There we go. There we go.
It
That
was
beautiful,
nice,
beautiful
okay.
beard. How are you getting
Thank you.
on? How are you?
Yeah. When right now I'm in Connecticut. I've been in Connecticut for the past almost 2 weeks. So yeah, and the beer is still there. I made a mistake a few months ago in June, but it was only one mistake. It won't happen. It won't happen again.
Some growth since June.
Yeah. Holy shit, Pedro.
This is even the beard is top game. There's no doubt.
How was the prep for this, Pedro? Because obviously with COVID, the world is a crazy place at the moment. Were you in Dublin for the majority of it? Were you in Portugal, or what way did it work out?
So, talking about from the start, so my father council, and I went to Portugal, and I stayed there until I had to stay there because we couldn't go anywhere until May, and then from May till now, I was in Dublin preparing myself for the fight, and yeah, it was tricky, because there was a lot of restrictions, but the camp was way better than I was expecting. The camp, everything went perfect. The people that I need, the exact people that I need was there to help me. So the camp was perfect. The camp was 3, 4, 5 times better than I thought would be. So
Wow.
yeah, I can say that I'm more than ready.
You look in ridiculous shape. I don't know if it was Will Fleury who shared a picture of you with your protruding abs. I don't know who it was, but I got lost in your abdomen for a good 5 minutes when I looked at it. I was like, Jesus Christ. Is this the best? Like, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but is this the best shape you've ever been in your life?
Yeah, the thing is, I start to get tired with myself saying this count after count. Because camp after camp, I say I'm in the best ever of my life, and it starts to sound cliche. But the thing is, when I start this camp, I have one goal. Because my last camp in March, when the fuck I found that camp, I was in ridiculous shape. I never felt that good in my life. Everything was perfect. So when I start this camp with all these COVID things, my goal was I wanted to only get close to that numbers. If I get close to that numbers, I'm happy. That was my goal. And by the end of it, those numbers weren't even close. I absolutely
Wow.
crushed all those numbers. I'm 5 rounds for me is not even a bother. I'm by far the best that I can be. I know that I can be even better. In 1 year, I will be even better than I am today because I work every single day to be there. But right now, there's no way I can lose this fight.
Since March, then obviously the fight sort of fell out a day before it was supposed to happen, and you've talked about the time you've had there, and especially with sort of the beef that was sort of going on between the two camps. Has it been hard to keep that in check? And you said it's almost been better that you've had this sort of amount of time off to prepare again. Has it been psychologically challenging in any sort of degree?
No, nothing, because I normally say this. When someone really wants it, he doesn't find excuses. He finds solutions, and that's what I did all these months. I found a solution to stay active, to stay in shape, to do the best that I can, to even that I was in lockdown in Portugal, that I couldn't get out of my home. I still was doing my best to keep improving myself, and that's what I did. And the results, are even on my physical shape I've never been even. I always in good shape, but like it's visible how good shape I am, and that also reflects on my skill set. I'm 3, 4, 5 times better fighter than I was in March. that was a few months ago. So yeah, it wasn't a problem psychologically and neither physically. Everything was done. Every time that I have a difficulty in my life, what I do is find a solution and get better and improve and learn with it. And that's what I did with all this COVID thing. I'm a better person. I'm a better fighter, and I keep beautiful as I am.
I wanted to say, Pedro, like every time I've seen you, and this goes back to your Bellator debut when I saw you against Crawford, and it was an unbelievable fight because Crawford was so hyped. But every single time you fought for Bellator, there is massive, massive leaps. Yeah. And I'm looking at the other side of the coin here, and I'm looking at Pitbull's age. I'm looking what he's already achieved in his career. Fantastic career, no doubt about it. But I believe you have far more likely improved more than he has because of this gap, as you say, 4 or 5 times better. Is that playing in your head as well? Like, it's hard for a man of Pitbull's age to improve at the rate you have.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that when I see these so-called experts talking about our fight, the predictions of our fight, neither one of them take into consideration. And but that's okay. And first of all, I'm used to get underestimated, and second, it's also normal that they praise a lot Pitbull because he deserves to be praised. He has a great career and a great skill, but they all forget about this. They never pay attention to the amount of improvement that fight after fight I get. And if you see my fight, like my 6 last fights, just counting the SPG, the fight that I represented SPG, from the first to the second to the third to the fourth, all the way to the last one, the improvements are visible. It's not like one thing or two. It's like a major thing. Yeah, it's an overall aspect on my game, and overall right now, I can assure you that I'm not only a more dangerous fighter, but I'm a way more smarter fighter. Like I consider myself always a smart fighter, but like I think all this year and some months of getting scheduled with Patricio, because it's such a difficult fight, because it is a difficult fight. This fight just give a demand of more and more and more, because this is the biggest fight of my career. And this fight just brought me to like 3-4 levels up. It's like Dragon Ball when he has a new opponent and he has to go to all the way up. It was a bit the same, This fight got me on an all new level, and this new level that I am, neither one of these guys in the tournament are able to match it. And the good part is, they all gonna get it, and they all gonna see it one by one. I'm gonna prove it.
Pete mentioned
we talked about the fact that this is a big one for SBG. Noel mentioned it earlier. There is a lot of talk between the Pitbull camp, SBG's camp, but on an even broader level than that, you could be the first SBG guy with a Bellator gold belt around your waist. And given the amount of guys that are there, I have a feeling. Yes, yeah, but I mean, it must mean a lot to the gym in general. Do you feel like the whole team are behind you? I'm sure they always are, but has it taken on an extra energy given who you're fighting and the fact that this title is on the line?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing these last months, and like I say, we are not a team, we are a family, and you can see on the environment in the gym and the push, the energy they give me every day. Even on the end of sparring, it looks like you are on the arena, like applause. Wow. And everything, people cheering you up, and it's fantastic. It's been fantastic, and it's been amazing, and it will give me huge happiness to bring also not only the gold for my country, but for my team as well, because they deserve it, because everything and every time that I need something, they were there for me no matter what. And they've been amazing with me from day one, but of course, especially now. and yeah, and it's the minimum that I can bring them. It's the goal. That's it.
You mentioned, gold there, and I think you're the first SBG fighter since Conor McGregor to challenge for a major promotion, Bellator, UFC, gold. Have you spoken to Conor McGregor about, fighting in a world title fight of that magnitude? Has he had any words for you?
Yeah, I spoke with Conor sometimes, but we didn't talk of getting another world belt. It's just that's it. We just go out there and do what is the best. That is, whoop ass, and basic pretty much that's it. That's no much. We don't focus on the matter of the things. We focus on how well we're gonna perform, and that's what matters to all of us in SPG. It doesn't matter who is the guy. It's all about us, and that's it. It's all about how we perform, and I think that's a bit of that kind of mentality. It reflects a little bit. I don't think it's a little bit. I think it's a lot on the results of the team, and that's pretty it.
And what's the reaction been like in Portugal? Is there a lot of excitement ahead of this fight?
Yeah, a lot. Huge.
Wow.
Huge.
Wow, that's brilliant.
And I feel blessed. I feel so grateful, so happy because when I was a kid, and it's hard to not get emotional because when I was a kid, I remember that I was only getting my trainings, and I remember not only to dream one day to get into this stage and get my country behind me when MMA is not a thing in Portugal. But I also kind of visualize. I believe that one day will happen, and now I'm here and I see all my country behind me, and I see so much excitement on this fight in their fight. Like they are feeling this fight as much as me, basically.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been amazing to see every day, from months for years. Brilliant. Actually. Every day I receive message. Every day I receive something, a comment, a message every day, and it's been absolutely amazing and heartwarming. And it's hard to have words actually to thank or anything. Like I said, the only way that I can thank everyone for the support is to whoop this guy ass that I will what I do the best and bring them the goal. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to whip this little man ass, and I'm gonna bring the gold, my belt, and my division.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
Pedro, I wanted to as your powers of visualization are so good, I wanted to play a little game with you called Pedro's Predictions. Okay, we're gonna base this around the featherweight tournament. And let's go. First of all, I would like to start with Emmanuel Sanchez v Daniel Vichel, which is also on your card on Thursday, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So my prediction are Daniel Vichel by decision.
Ooh.
Okay, you ready for the next one? AJ McKee versus Darian Caldwell.
I see AJ McKee or by submission or by decision.
Ooh, what a fight that is.
You ready for this one? Patricio Freire versus Pedro Carvalho.
Yeah, I still say the same. A lot of people around me say different things, but I still see the same. I see Pedro Carvalho round 3. Well,
what way are we going to do
I
it?
leave it open. I like to leave their paper in blank.
Who do you think out of those?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to ask, who do you think out of those guys who are left in the tournament? Given that let's say you win as you predict you will in the third round, who do you think gives you the toughest matchup there? Is it AJ McKee? There was a bit of SPG banter there as well with Brian Moore, of course, James Gallagher, a lot of stuff there. I think it's a great fight as well. But just based on his skill set, he's he can shut down guys with his wrestling game. Basically, I've seen him do it a lot. Like, is that the biggest threat? Do you believe if you get through Patricio?
No. It isn't that. None of these guys is like, to be honest. None of I see and I repeat it. I'm not like being over my head or something. It is what I see and it is what I believe. Is none of these guys are on my level. And in all concerns of style match, even that I think that Vaishal going to win. I think probably the more intriguing matchup for me, for my style, will be the Emmanuel Sanchez, because is a bit similar with me in all concerns of cardio, conditioning, and pace. We have both like kind of the same thing of we have excellent conditioning and cardio, and we both always put the big pace and we like to go forward. So it will be interesting to see that fight, but still I see a million ways to finish Sanchez. I see a million ways to finish Vaishal, Caldwell, and McKee. You know, I think McKee is good. McKee is well rounded, but he's a lot of hype. He is a lot of hype, but he's good. You know, he's a guy that is dangerous. But after I saw that fight with Campos, especially that fight with Campos, I'm like, I know. I just know.
So many fights to potentially make in that division. It's unbelievable. It's stacked.
Yeah. It's one thing, Pedro, like about all your other fights, but this one is obviously the biggest given the title. But not only that, but because of the friction that was there between you and Patricio. I know you were kind of just playing the wind-up merchant for most of that, but I mean, it seemed to get a bit over the top when it became down to Portuguese fans versus Brazilian fans. I felt that was when you kind of came out and you said, hang on, I need to put a line underneath this. But has that friction, has that tension between you guys, has that made you the man I see before me today in the best shape of his life after the best camp of his life? Do you think that motivated you to drag even more out of yourself?
I don't think so, because you know I'm there's two things. I'm really cold blooded, you know, in concerns of these things. These things that doesn't get me from the positive and even from the negative, both ways that they don't get me. And because of motivation, you know, my motivation is always like I'm self motivated. I don't need nothing to get myself motivated. You know, just I have this thing. I want to be the best. I want to prove that I'm the best. And this is all I need to get motivated every single day, to go training the maximum that I can from Monday to Monday. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I am what I am, because I don't need motivation. And this thing they didn't play a role on me. I still did the work because I just want to prove that I'm the best. You know, but the whole this thing that been created all these months for 1 year, it's been fun. But that's the maximum that it gets from me. I just found it fun. That's it.
When you face off with him for the final time on Wednesday, what are you going to say to him?
We'll see.
Inaudible.
Bleep. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Pedro.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say that I don't intend to say nothing specific. I just
keep it
I
cold.
just want to show him. That's it.
Well, Pedro, it has been an absolute pleasure, as it always is, to speak to you before this historic and momentous occasion for you. You have an amazing story, and I hope it keeps on coming, man, because it's been a pleasure to watch, and we always appreciate the time. Hopefully, we'll get you on soon with that belt around your waist.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Appreciate it.
It's a done deal. Next one, we'll have the shining belt on a camera like this. I try to fit, you know, because it will be hard with my big beard and this belt, but we'll make it happen.
Brilliant stuff, Pedro.
You're a
Thanks
legend,
very much.
Pedro. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you, guys.
Hello, guys. If you want to hear more of The Bash, you can subscribe to us on all our wonderful channels on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and all that other shit.
And click the links below. Click the links below, the notification button. It comes straight to your phone if we've any fresh content. And also hit the subscribe button. It does help. You're some plonker.
It's very serious.